Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to English Speaking Nerds. I'm your lovely host, Maya.
And I'm John. And today, we're about to reveal something that's going to completely transform the way you learn English.
You know what's crazy? We've been told our entire lives that learning English has to be boring. Textbooks, grammar drills, memorizing lists of words you'll never use in real conversation, sitting in classrooms, repeating after a teacher, filling out worksheets that put you to sleep.
But what if I told you that some of the most successful English learners in the world learn from watching anime? That they spent their time being entertained while simultaneously becoming fluent?
That's right. Not just anime fans who happen to learn English. I'm talking about people who specifically used anime as their primary learning tool. People who went from struggling with basic sentences to speaking confidently and naturally. And today, we're going to show you exactly how to do it.
But here's the thing, and this is important. Most people watch anime completely wrong when they're trying to learn English. They make critical mistakes that actually slow down their progress.
And we don't want that to happen to you because, honestly, some of you watching this right now have been studying English for years. Maybe 5 years, maybe 10. Maybe you've taken courses, hired tutors, bought expensive programs, and you're still not confident speaking. You still freeze up when someone asks you a question in English.
And that hurts. We know it does, because we've been there. We've seen the disappointment in our students' eyes when they realize that all those hours of study didn't translate into real fluency. That disconnect between what you know in your head and what comes out of your mouth, it's frustrating beyond words.
So stick with us until the end, because we're going to share the exact step-by-step method that works. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to look at anime and your English learning journey in a completely different way.
Okay, so let's start with the big question. Why anime? Why not movies? Why not TV shows?
Great question. And the answer is actually really fascinating. You see, anime has something that most English learning materials don't have.
Emotional connection.
Exactly. Think about it. When was the last time you got genuinely excited about a grammar textbook?
Never. The answer is never.
Right. But anime? Anime makes you feel something. You care about the characters. You want to know what happens next. You laugh, you cry, you get angry, you feel inspired. You find yourself thinking about episodes long after they're over. You discuss them with friends. You rewatch your favorite scenes.
And here's the science behind it. When you learn something while experiencing strong emotions, your brain creates stronger neural pathways. It's called emotional encoding. Your brain is literally wired to remember things better when they're connected to feelings. That's why you remember your first kiss, your graduation day, that time you got embarrassed in front of everyone, because emotions cement memories.
Which means you remember the language better. So when Naruto shouts, "I never go back on my word, that's my ninja way,"
You don't just remember the words, you remember the feeling, the determination, the courage.
and that emotional connection, that's what takes language from your textbook into your heart, into your identity.
Because here's what nobody tells you about learning English. It's not really about memorizing 10,000 words. It's about becoming a different version of yourself. A version who can express ideas, share feelings, and connect with people in another language. It's about expanding who you are.
And that transformation doesn't happen through boring exercises. It happens through stories that move you, through characters who inspire you, through moments that make you think, yes, that's exactly how I feel, and now I know how to say it in English. That's why anime is so powerful. Because when you watch Naruto refuse to give up, you're not just hearing English words. You're absorbing the spirit of perseverance. You're learning how English speakers express determination, courage, loyalty.
All right, so let's get practical. We're going to start with the show that changed everything for millions of English learners around the world. Naruto.
Now, some of you are thinking, but John, Maya, I don't like action anime. And that's totally fine. We're going to cover different genres, but we're starting with Naruto for 3 very specific reasons.
Reason number 1, the dialogue is crystal clear. The characters don't mumble, they don't speak in overly complex sentences. They communicate in the kind of direct, powerful English you can actually use.
Reason number 2, repetition. Naruto repeats his goals, his values, his ninja way over and over. And that repetition, that's gold for language learning.
And the reason number 3, motivation. If you can watch Naruto work harder than anyone, never give up, and eventually achieve his dream, you start believing you can do the same with English.
So here's the exact method we recommend. We call it the 3-watch technique.
Watch number 1, watch the episode in English with English subtitles. Just enjoy the story. Don't pause, don't take notes. Just watch and feel.
Watch number 2. This is where the magic happens. Watch the same episode again, but this time, pause whenever you hear a phrase or expression that feels important or interesting.
And here's what you do. You write it down. You repeat it out loud. You notice how they say it, not just what they say.
For example, when Naruto says, "believe it," he doesn't just say the words, he says them with conviction, with confidence, with an energy that makes you sit up straighter. That's the energy you want to copy. That's the attitude you want to internalize.
And pay attention to how different characters speak differently. Notice how Naruto speaks differently from Sasuke, how Sakura's way of expressing herself is different from Kakashi. This teaches you that English isn't just one thing, it's a flexible tool you can use in different ways depending on your personality and the situation.
Watch number 3. No subtitles. Just audio and video. See how much you can understand. And don't worry if you don't get everything.
Because you won't. Even native speakers don't catch every single word. What matters is you understand the meaning, the emotion, the story.
Now, here's the part that most people miss. After those 3 watches, you need to use what you learned.
Talk to yourself in English. Seriously. Describe what happened in the episode. Pretend you're explaining it to a friend. Say it out loud. Stand in front of a mirror if you need to. Act like you're a YouTuber reviewing the episode. Make it fun.
Because here's a truth bomb. You don't learn a language by watching. You learn a language by doing. Input without output is like going to the gym, watching people exercise, and expecting to get muscles. It doesn't work that way.
Watching anime gives you the input, the vocabulary, the phrases, the natural expressions. But speaking out loud gives you the output. And you need both.
Okay, so Naruto is incredible for beginners and intermediate learners. But what else should you watch?
Let's talk about genre diversity, because different anime teach you different aspects of English.
If you want to learn casual, everyday conversation, the kind of English you'd use with friends, watch slice of life anime.
Shows like My Hero Academia are perfect for this. The characters are students. They have normal conversations about school, friendship, dreams, fears.
Plus, the English dub for My Hero Academia is absolutely fantastic. The voice actors bring so much personality to their roles. You can really hear the difference between formal speech and casual speech, which is incredibly valuable for real-world English usage.
And here's something interesting. My Hero Academia teaches you school-related English. Classrooms, homework, tests, group projects. If you're a student or you work in education, this vocabulary is immediately useful.
Now, if you want to improve your formal English, business English, academic English, try anime like Death Note.
Oh, Death Note is brilliant for advanced learners. The characters use sophisticated vocabulary, they argue, they debate, they manipulate with words.
It teaches you the kind of English you'd use in debates, presentations, or serious discussions.
But here's a warning. Start with Death Note only if you're already comfortable with basic English. Otherwise, it might feel overwhelming.
For emotional depth and beautiful storytelling, you can't beat Your Lie in April or A Silent Voice.
These shows teach you the language of emotion, how to express sadness, regret, hope, forgiveness, the kind of English that touches people's hearts.
And honestly, that's the English that matters most. Because technical English might get you a job, but emotional English builds relationships. It helps you make friends. It lets you comfort someone who's sad, celebrate with someone who's happy, or share a moment of understanding with a stranger who becomes a friend.
These emotionally driven anime also teach you the subtle aspects of English. Tone, pacing, pauses. You learn that sometimes what you don't say is just as important as what you do say. You learn about silence, about letting moments breathe.
All right, now let's talk about something a little different. Something that might surprise you.
Doraemon.
Yes, Doraemon. And I know some of you are thinking, wait, isn't that a kid's show?
It is, and that's exactly why it's perfect for English learners.
Think about it. Children's shows use simple, clear language. The grammar is straightforward, the vocabulary is practical.
But here's what makes Doraemon special. It's not dumbed down. It's simplified, but it's still natural.
The characters speak real English. They express real emotions. They deal with real problems. Friendship, responsibility, courage, kindness.
And every episode is self-contained. You don't need to watch 100 episodes to understand what's happening. You can jump in anywhere.
Plus, Doraemon teaches you something incredibly valuable. Everyday problem-solving language. How English speakers work through challenges together, how they brainstorm, how they encourage each other when things go wrong.
I need help. What should we do? I have an idea. Let's try this. It worked. Uh-oh. Don't worry. We can fix this.
These are phrases you'll use constantly in real life, and Doraemon repeats them over and over in fun, memorable contexts. Plus, each episode is only about 20 minutes long, perfect for daily practice without feeling overwhelmed.
Here's our recommendation. If you're a complete beginner, start with Doraemon. Spend a month just watching Doraemon episodes.
Build your foundation. Get comfortable hearing English. Train your ear to recognize words and phrases.
Then, once you feel more confident, level up to something like Naruto or My Hero Academia.
And here's the beautiful thing. There's no shame in watching children's shows. Native speakers watch them too. They're entertaining, wholesome, and genuinely well-made. Some of the most profound life lessons come from children's media. And if it's good enough for native speakers to enjoy, it's definitely good enough for you to learn from.
Plus, here's a secret. Watching something easy boosts your confidence. And confidence is the #1 thing that most English learners lack. When you can understand 90% of a Doraemon episode, you start believing in yourself. And that belief carries over when you tackle more difficult content.
Okay, we need to talk about something important. Something that holds a lot of English learners back.
Fear.
Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of not being perfect, Fear that people will judge your accent, your grammar, your word choices. Fear that you've wasted all this time and you're still not good enough.
And listen, we get it. We really do. When you've studied something for years, there's this pressure to be good at it. There's embarrassment when you still struggle. You think, I should be better by now. What's wrong with me?
But here's what anime teaches us, and this is crucial. Nothing is wrong with you. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to fail. In fact, it's necessary.
Every single anime protagonist fails. Repeatedly. Naruto failed the graduation exam 3 times. Deku was born without powers in a world of heroes. They started at the bottom, discouraged and doubtful.
But they didn't give up, and they didn't wait until they were perfect before they took action. Naruto didn't wait until he mastered every jutsu. Deku didn't wait until he was the strongest. They jumped in, messy and imperfect, and learned by doing.
They were messy. They made mistakes. They fell down. But they got back up.
And that's what you need to do with English. Stop waiting until you're ready. Stop waiting until you're perfect.
Start speaking now, even if you make mistakes, especially if you make mistakes.
Because every mistake is data. Every mistake teaches you something. Every mistake brings you closer to fluency.
Native speakers don't learn their own language by being perfect from day one. They babble, they mispronounce, they use wrong words. And gradually, through thousands of mistakes, they get better.
And you know what? Native speakers make mistakes too, all the time. We mess up grammar. We forget words. We say things wrong. We say and like constantly. We're not walking dictionaries. We're humans communicating imperfectly but effectively.
Language isn't about perfection. It's about connection. It's about expressing yourself and being understood.
So, when you watch anime, don't just admire the characters, become them. Adopt their courage, their determination, their willingness to try, even when it's hard. When Naruto says, "I never go back on my word," make that your English learning motto. Commit to this journey the way he commits to becoming Hokage. Because that's what separates people who achieve fluency from people who study forever but never get there. It's not intelligence, it's not talent, it's the willingness to be uncomfortable, to sound silly, to make mistakes in front of others, and keep going anyway.
All right, let's get into some practical tips. Things you should do and mistakes you should avoid.
Tip number 1. Choose anime you actually enjoy. Don't force yourself to watch something just because it's educational. If you hate sports anime, don't watch sports anime just because someone said it's good for learning. Find what genuinely entertains you.
Because if you're not enjoying it, you won't stick with it. And consistency is everything. It's better to watch 30 minutes a day of something you love than to force yourself through an hour of something boring and then quit after a week.
Tip number 2. Use active watching, not passive watching.
What does that mean? It means you're engaged. You're thinking about what they're saying. You're repeating phrases. You're asking yourself questions. Why did they use that word instead of this one? What does that expression mean? How would I say that in my own words?
Passive watching is when you have the show on in the background while you're on your phone. That doesn't help you learn. Your brain needs focused attention to create those neural pathways we talked about earlier.
Tip number 3. Keep a favorite phrases notebook.
Whenever you hear a phrase that sounds cool, useful, or interesting, write it down. Review it weekly. Use it in your own sentences.
Tip number 4. Join online communities. Don't learn alone. Language is social, and you'll progress so much faster when you're connected to others.
There are thousands of people learning English through anime. Find them, Talk to them, practice with them, share your favorite phrases, discuss episodes, ask questions, answer questions, build friendships. Reddit, Discord, language exchange apps, these communities are gold mines for practice and motivation.
Now, let's talk about mistakes to avoid.
Mistake number 1. Watching with subtitles in your native language.
We know it's tempting, but you need to break this habit. If you use subtitles, use English subtitles. Your brain will take the easy path if you let it, and reading in your native language while listening to English creates a disconnect. You're training your reading, not your listening.
Mistake number 2. Trying to understand every single word. This is huge. You'll drive yourself crazy if you pause every 5 seconds to look up words. You don't need to. Native speakers don't either. Focus on understanding the overall meaning, not every tiny detail.
Mistake number 3, never speaking out loud.
This is huge. You cannot get good at speaking by only listening. You have to open your mouth and practice.
Even if you're alone, even if it feels weird at first, talk to yourself in English. Narrate your day. Explain what you're doing.
Your mouth needs training just like your ears do.
All right, so here's where we put it all together. We want to give you a concrete plan.
We're calling it the 90-Day Anime Challenge.
For the next 90 days, you're going to commit to watching anime in English for at least 30 minutes every single day.
Days 1 to 30, start with Doraemon or any beginner-friendly anime. Focus on building your listening skills. Use English subtitles.
Days 31 to 60, level up to something like Naruto or My Hero Academia. Start using the 3-watch technique we explained earlier.
Days 61 to 90, challenge yourself with something more complex. Try Death Note or a silent voice, or anything that pushes you slightly outside your comfort zone.
But here's the key. Every single day, after watching, spend 10 minutes speaking out loud about what you watched. Non-negotiable. This is the most important part.
Summarize the episode. Describe your favorite scene. Explain how it made you feel. Talk about what you think will happen next. Describe the characters. Whatever comes to mind, just speak.
And if you want to take it even further, record yourself. Listen back. Notice your mistakes. Celebrate your progress. Track how you improve week by week. You'll be amazed at how much better you sound after just 30 days.
Do this for 90 days and you will transform your English. Not just your vocabulary or grammar, your entire relationship with the language.
Because you'll associate English with stories you love, characters you care about, and emotions you've felt. It won't be a foreign language anymore. It'll be your language. A language you understand not just intellectually, but emotionally. A language that feels natural because you've connected it to stories and characters you genuinely care about.
And here's what happens after 90 days. You'll find yourself thinking in English sometimes. You'll dream in English. You'll catch yourself using phrases from anime in your daily life. The language becomes part of you. You know, there's something magical about learning through stories.
Stories remind us why language exists in the first place. Not for tests, not for certificates.
But for connection, for sharing experiences, for understanding each other.
And when you learn English through anime, you're not just memorizing words, you're absorbing values, courage, friendship, perseverance, growth. You're learning that language is more than grammar. It's about expressing your soul, your dreams, your fears, your hopes.
You're learning that it's okay to be the underdog, that struggling doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. That every expert was once a beginner who refused to quit.
So wherever you are in your English journey right now, we want you to know you can do this.
Maybe you've been studying for years and still don't feel confident. Maybe you're just starting and feel overwhelmed. Maybe you've failed before. Maybe you've given up before. Maybe you think you're too old, too busy, not talented enough.
It doesn't matter. What matters is that you take the next step, and then the next one, and then the next one. What matters is that you start now, right now, today.
Just like Naruto, just like every hero who ever achieved something great, they didn't wait for perfection. They didn't wait for the right moment. They just started.
So start today. Pick an anime. Watch one episode. Repeat one phrase. Speak one sentence out loud. Write down one expression that resonates with you. Take one small action.
And then come back tomorrow and do it again. And the day after that. And the day after that. Because transformation doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens in the accumulation of small, consistent actions.
Because 90 days from now, you're going to look back at this moment and think, that was the day everything changed.
That was the day you stopped studying English like it was a chore and started living it like it was an adventure.
And if you complete the 90-day anime challenge, leave a comment below and let us know. Tell us which anime you chose. Tell us what you learned. Tell us how it felt. Tell us your favorite phrase, your biggest struggle, your proudest moment.
Because your story matters. Your progress matters. You matter. And every person who shares their journey inspires someone else to start theirs. You could be the reason someone else decides to try, to believe, to persist.
We're Maya.
And John.
From English-speaking nerds, reminding you the path to fluency is paved with the stories that inspire you. So choose your anime, embrace the journey, and remember.
Your English isn't just about words. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be, a person who can connect across cultures, share ideas across borders, and express your true self in a language that once seemed impossible. Now go watch some anime, take that first step, and we'll see you in the next video where we'll be waiting to hear about your progress, your challenges, and your victories.
Believe it.
Believe it.